Hey guys, this is Tiberius. Hey, Star Trek, Strange New Worlds. The latest episode, She-Walt that ate its tail. But this is more about James T. Kirk, and this is Tiberius, named after James T. Kirk. And we want to tell you and talk about this, and Tabitha's here as well. So give me a second. Tiberius is shy, so I'm going to put him down. Hey, so Tiberius is camera shy. He doesn't like to be on camera that often, but he loves people. Sorry. So I got Tabitha with me right now, my producer, the bigger sister, so to speak. And so just want to say that this was a great episode. Phenomenal episode. I enjoyed it heavily. I'm enjoying this season for the most part, except for earlier. If I have a nit about this episode, the nit is we don't see Captain Pike much. Again, second episode in a row, we do not see him. I give this a rating of gold. It's not quite platinum, but it's a classic Star Trek science fiction episode. I applaud this. Kurtzman, okay, and company, you did well. You're embracing the canon still, and we're actually seeing Spock acting more logical. Yay, I like that. Granted, Nurse Chapel is acting way above her grade that we see in the original series. I guess we can live with that. And then, of course, we do see Scotty a little bit, and we see some others. So basically, the issue here is what happened is, without really getting heavy details, Kirk, Lieutenant Commander Kirk, he is on the Farragut, and they're out there to get exploration done of a planet and the gravitational pulls and all that kind of stuff. And he's bored, very bored, because the Vulcan officer is by the book. He's very bored about what's going on, and the Vulcan officer goes, hey, we're going to get in orbit, geocentric orbit, and we'll watch what's going on the planet. And he goes, well, we should have a closer orbit. And the captain goes, how much closer do you want? How much are you suggesting? And he goes, well, boots on the ground. And at that moment, all of a sudden, the planet's blowing up. We see a massive ship that's came out of nowhere and is blowing the planet up. And the planet's debris hit the Farragut, cause huge damage to the ship, and the captain gets hurt, knocks unconscious, and Kirk ends up being the interim captain, taking over. And he gets a distress call out, and, obviously, Enterprise gets the call before communications are shut down, so Enterprise comes over there. It's a real cool scene where Enterprise has got their shields out, shielding the Farragut. Very cool from the debris from the planet. But the massive ship that causes destruction of this planet is gone. And so Enterprise sends over a landing crew. They land, Nurse Chapel, Spock, and Scotty. And, they basically are assessing the situation. And then out of nowhere, before I say out of nowhere, then there's a conversation with Kirk and Pike. And Pike goes, basically got to get all your people off and get, and Kirk goes, but, and Pike starts to lecture him about it's important to save your people. And Kirk says, no, basically, we have very injured people in sickbay that we got to take care of, transport off first. So that happens. And then all of a sudden communications go to hell, and this big ship is back. This ship is huge, and it swallows up the Enterprise. And the Enterprise now has got a problem where this ship has got tentacles on it and is draining power and putting poison gas into the engineering areas and disrupting communications all throughout the ship. And communications in the Farragut are basically gone, and all of a sudden, this massive ship, which is there, all of a sudden it warps away because the Enterprise is gone and sucked into this massive ship. And so the crew basically, British officers basically are all hurt or gone except for the guys that came over from the Enterprise. And so now Kirk has got to command them and get them to believe in him. And they decide the first priority is get the warp field back online and then get weapons back online. And Kirk wants to go after this ship. And there's conversations on both ships saying that, this is a scavenger ship, a destroyer of worlds, multiple names in other cultures, etc., etc. So anyway, meanwhile, on the Enterprise, we really don't see much goes on in the Enterprise. Communications are bad. There's some fighting going on. The engineering is flooded and it's been boarded by a couple soldiers who got immense power of some sort. Aliens who look like aliens because they look so much bigger than the crew does. So we see a little bit of that. Then we go back to the Farragut and they figure out how to get the power going. And Kirk basically says, hey, we're going after them. We're going to beat that back because they found out that there's a planet that has a special mineral that this scavenger evidently wants, was mining out this one planet, and they want that. And it's these guys are heading that scavenger ship saying that planet has 100 million people. So Kirk wants to get there first, try to figure out how to stop them and get the Enterprise free. And we start to see a little bit of some of the stuff that is making James T. Kirk. He has some uncertainty, but he wants to take heavy risks. He's learning how to get through this. He tells Scotty, we're going to do this. And Scotty's going, well, go maximum warp. We're not going to be able to go much longer. We'll probably fry it out. And he goes, well, we're going to do it because I got confidence in you. And that's one of the things that Kirk always did well, instilling confidence in the people that report to him. And so we start seeing a little bit of that. And of course, obviously, when they're warping over there and they do get past the scavenger ship, because scavenger ship doesn't have the same warp capabilities, they get ahead of them and their engines go out. But so they're in front of them and they figured out how to fake out the mineral signature so they can stop the scavenger ship from going for that planet, go after them. And we go through some issues where Kirk is struggling to figure out how to be a captain, how to inspire people, how to take it all in calmly. Because at one point he's on this, he's going, I need quiet. I got to walk in the quiet room. And the Enterprise crew that came over had a conversation amongst themselves and said, hey, somebody's got to go in there and tell Kirk he's got to calm down and act as the commander. And Spock does that. So this is probably another example where this friendship starts happening. So they go through all this. They go over there and Kirk figures out a way to actually hurt this scavenger ship heavily by using parts of the Enterprise, the nacelles that help produce the warp field. He figures out how to do all that stuff and ends up finding a way to disrupt them so badly that the Enterprise is able to get away and free themselves. Awesome. Really awesome. Starting to develop a confidence, command growth of James T. Kirk. I love this. I love this episode. Then the moral ambiguity comes up. after this is all over with, they shot in photon torpedoes and blow this scavenger ship from the inside and blows everything up. Their bodies strewn all over the place, and they can't get clean views of them to transport these bodies over. And they find out these are actually humans from a lost mission right after World War III, when they thought the planet was going to fail and they were looking for new habitable places. And this crew and their family, large crew and family, were supposed to be humanity's next salvation. And it turned out these guys turned out to be the evil opposites over the course of time. And Kirk at the end is having a hard time justifying the fact he basically killed 7,000 humans. And Pike tries to give him advice. So I applaud this episode. I like this. This really gives us more nuances about James T. Kirk and kind of mentorship from Pike. Awesome, awesome. I loved it. I just wish we could have seen more Pike. Everyone, have a great day. Norb with Silver Aged.